Hello guys, Niger Street Lawyer is back again. Recently I saw a video of a guy who made a general statement which I think needs to be corrected when he said your landlord does not have right to increase your rent unless it is up to 2 years that your landlord cannot increase your rent. Now that statement may be correct for those in Lagos who are under the rent control law of Lagos State, but that does not apply to every state in Nigeria, so that you are not misled if you are not in Lagos. For instance, those in Abuja, that does not apply to you. It is recently that the National Assembly, the House of Reps, actually thought of that. They started looking into regulating issue of rent in Abuja, passing a law to regulate rent in the Federal Capital Territory. Now, what regulates rent generally in Nigeria, apart from states that have such laws in place, is your agreement, your tenancy agreement. It is what your tenancy agreement says that applies. That is why you must be careful to read the tenancy agreement that you are being given. Subsequently, we are going to also deal with some other issues as it affects tenancy agreement. But in this video, you need to know that your landlord, except you are in a state where there is rent control law, your landlord have rights to increase the rent. What you now have right to do is to refuse to pay and quit after your rent is exhausted. But what your landlord cannot do is to increase your rent before your rent expires and insist that you pay an addition. For instance, you used to pay 1 million for rent, and then you have paid for 2024 to 2025, and then your landlord comes towards the end of 2024 or January 2025 and says, oh, your rent is now 1.5 and your rent is to expire in July, and tells you to pay an addition to reflect the new rent. No, your landlord cannot do that. Your rent must expire before the new rent can be paid, and then you have a right to say you are not paying, that you are leaving. But if you are not paying, you have to leave. You have to leave the premises. You don't have right to refuse to pay rent and insist on staying. Your landlord is doing business and he has rights to increase his rent, except there is a law prohibiting him from doing that, or by agreement, both of you have agreed that the rent can only be increased after 2 years or after 3 years or after 5 years or even after 1 year. If that is what the agreement says, then that is what it is. But in the absence of any agreement, then your landlord increases his rent. Although the ideal thing is that both of you are supposed to sit down, discuss how the rate of the increase and how it should be increased. But it is safer to ensure that there is a rent review clause in the tenancy agreement, and make sure you read that agreement before you sign. You can always consult a lawyer, or you should always consult a lawyer before you sign any agreement. I'd like you to like this video, leave your comments, raise any issue you'd like us to discuss, raise your questions. I respond to questions in the comment section. And please do share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.